Idolatry. Shemuth or Exodus 20:3-6. You are not to pray to statues or images, nor are you to serve them in any way. You have no other mighty ones against my face. You do not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous Allah, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing kindness to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands. Women's uncleanness. Wayekra or Leviticus 15:19-24. Intercourse should not be performed during a woman's menstrual, neither should she be touched, and should have a place while on her menstrual. She is unclean during so, known also as her monthly separation. And when a woman has a discharge, and the discharge from her flesh is blood, she has to be in her separation for 7 days, and whoever touches her is unclean until evening. And whatever she lies on during her separation is unclean, and whatever she sits on is unclean. And anyone who touches her bed has to wash his garments and shall bathe in water and be unclean until evening. And whoever touches any object that she sits on has to wash his garments and shall bathe in water and be unclean until evening. And if it is on the bed or on any object on which she sits, when he touches it, he is unclean until evening. And if any man lies with her at all, and her monthly flow is on him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and any bed he lies on is unclean. Tassels. Bimidbar or Numbers 15:38-40. We are to be wearing our tassels or tizit on the corners of our garments. Speak to the children of Yasharel, and you shall say to them to make tizits on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue cord in the tizit of their corners. And it shall be to you for a tizit, and you shall see it, and shall remember all the commands of Yahuwah, and shall do them, and not search after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you went whoring, so that you remember and shall do all my commands, and be set apart unto your Elohim. Oaths and vows. Bimidbar or Numbers 30:2. When we make a vow or an oath to Yahuwah, we are not to break it. When a man vows a vow to Yahuwah or swears an oath to bind himself by some agreement, he does not break his word. He does according to all that comes out of his mouth. Or if a woman vows a vow to Yahuwah and binds herself by some agreement while in her father's house in her youth, and her father hears her vow and the agreement by which she has bound herself, and her father has kept silent towards her, then all her vows shall stand, and every agreement with which she has bound herself stands. But if her father forbids her on the day that he hears, then none of her vows nor her agreements by which she has bound herself stand. And Yahuwah pardons her, because her father has forbidden her. But if she at all belongs to a husband, while bound by her vows or by a rash utterance from her lips by which she bound herself, and her husband hears it, and he has kept silent towards her on the day that he hears, then her vow shall stand, and her agreement by which she bound herself do stand. Finish reading till verse 15. Witnessing. Devarim or Deuteronomy 19:15. 2 witnesses or more are needed to convict one of a crime or accusation. 1 witness does not rise up against a man concerning any crookedness or any sin that he commits. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, a matter is established. Dress codes. Devarim or Deuteronomy 22:5. We are not to cross-dress or wear clothing pertaining to the opposite sex. A woman does not wear that which pertains to a man, nor does a man put on a woman's garment, for whoever does this is an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim.